And I don't know what I had to redeem myself for. I think it's because on our first hike, I was the only one that had a map, and like I let us off the trail a couple times.
No, I think it's
never
because
too far.
The water. We ran out of water.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Fasten those seatbelts and strap in. We'll get you to those margaritas ASAP.
Hola, bonjour. Ciao belle mesdames et messieurs. Salam and salam.
Hey, how are you? Welcome back to Drop a Pin. Today we're doing a Peakin recap. The first 2 episodes are out. The third episode drops this Wednesday at 8 p.m. So first we have Biz on to talk about the trip, and then the 2 production directors, Corey Rutledge and Tyler Spaid, to give their perspective of the whole first official season. But first we wanted to mention these Drop a Pin crew necks just went on sale on Friday. So cop them. I mean, right now is Cyber Monday, so they should still be discounted. World's still spinning on the back. I love this logo. It's a play on the
Trans Am? No.
I think is it a play
Pan
on
Am. Pan Am.
Yeah, it's a play on the Pan Am logo. This is one of my favorite logos of any content I do. It's nice and clean, so yeah.
TWA.
It's the TWA logo,
Yeah,
okay,
TWA
which was
logo.
Trans World Airlines, right?
And not only that, but you also have a new Termy hoodie that's out. That's really good.
Yep, I do. Throw in a photo of that, Sam, if you can. Check out the Termy hoodie. We need to stay at the TWA hotel at JFK Airport sometime. They've got a hotel in the airport.
Oh, yeah.
And it's got a pool that overlooks the runway.
Yeah, I've seen that. It looks fun.
Yeah, it looks great. I think the pool's open year-round, so you can just chill, go hippo mode, and watch planes take off. Yeah, this episode's a lot of me recapping my trip, but thanks for sitting in on it, Chaps.
A good time. Hopefully everybody else enjoys it too.
Yes.
I mean, Biz is always great.
Yes. No, it's always a pleasure talking to him. And just if you have a chance, go to British Columbia. Can't recommend that place enough. Without further ado, should we get into it?
Yeah, here's Paul Bissonnette.
Today, for the second time, we have Paul Bissonnette to recap our second season of Peakin. First episode and the second episode are out by now, and the third episode drops this Wednesday at 8 p.m. ET. How you doing, busy boy?
I'm fired up. Thanks for having me back on. The first time I was there, I had a million things going on, and I couldn't even form a thought. Not like that's like uncommon for me, but it's great to be back on, and I'm happy to snap it around. And once again, I said it on our podcast, and I'll reiterate it again. It was a blast doing the Peakin season with you. Obviously the pilot as well, but it was a home run, man. And you're such an intelligent guy, Donnie, and an incredible storyteller. The way that you're able to edit it with the guys and do the narration over with the clever one-liners. You're a G, buddy, and it was awesome spending time with you, Corey, and Tyler. And thanks to the whole editing team, because I understand it was a few guys outside of those guys. I forgot the guy's name.
Nick Snow, who obviously helped crush it as well. So we have some incredible editors in the Barstool community, and they deserve all the credit in the world. Yeah, we're going to actually be talking to Corey and Tyler after we talk to you, and we're going to get their perspective on how the trip went.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what those guys are going to say, but they're troopers. Like the fact that they have to lug up the gear and make sure they're getting all the shots and I mean, Corey's got bionic knees, so you know he was struggling there for a bit, but powered through. But Chaps, we're going to have to get you on one of them at some point. I don't know what your flavor of hiking or outdoors is, but we're going to have to get you on there.
Yeah, dude, I'd be totally down to go for sure.
Magnet fishing is your flavor.
Yeah, I love magnet fishing.
He's very good at magnet fishing.
I just got a metal detector. I'm going to start metal detecting around Chicago, see how many murder weapons I can find. That'll be great.
That's what they call magnet fishing?
No, so there's magnet fishing, which is you just throw a magnet into the water and see what you can pull up. And we did that in the Chicago River. We found some rebar. You found a walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
And like some people have found guns and stuff like in the Chicago River.
Okay, wow. I thought you meant like there was a type of fishing where like the fish would be attracted to the magnets.
Oh, no.
No.
Maybe if they're really high in mercury.
Yeah, tuna.
But
that is wild. What's the craziest thing you guys have caught magnet fishing?
We only
went once, and we got the big magnet stuck in against the seawall because it's made of iron. And
Oh, yeah.
we had to cut it loose.
Lost a magnet. But, Chaps pulled up like some guy's walkie-talkie that he had dropped in the river and thought it was gone. And we just happened to be magnet fishing and pulled it up 10 minutes later. Still worked.
No way.
Yeah.
And the guy was pumped because he wasn't going to get in trouble at work for losing the walkie-talkie.
Yep.
Yeah. If it's coming in fuzzy,
Yeah.
can't blame him. If you don't bring it back, you're shit out of luck. That's unreal. I wonder where is like a popular place in the world to magnet fish where maybe you could you get gold come through a magnet?
There's always a possibility. I mean, back in the day, a lot of Spanish ships, I'm sure they sunk with a lot of gold. So if you're dropping it in the right spot, you can find Montezuma's lost treasure.
Is gold magnetic?
Oh,
I don't think it is.
yeah, you're right. I think gold might not be magnetic.
I'm not the guy to ask.
Yeah.
That's why I bring you guys around.
I think 14
Donnie?
karat is, but once it goes above that, it won't.
Okay.
Pure gold is not magnetic.
Okay. So gold is not magnetic.
Well, I guess you got to pan the sucker.
Yeah.
But
Another thing too, Donnie, is thanks for teaching me about Teddy Roosevelt. What a fucking G that guy was.
yeah, no. So I mentioned this on Chicklets. Like, I mean, Biz isn't a big history buff in general, but also growing up in Canada, you don't learn about people like Teddy Roosevelt and stuff. So I was telling him some of the fun facts that we discussed during our episode of high school that we did on him.
Yeah.
And I mean, Biz, the thing I like about you is, yeah, you don't know a lot, but you're very curious. Like, you're very open.
Extremely
You
curious.
enjoy learning about new shit. There's a lot of people that don't know anything, and they're also not interested in learning anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fuck that. I mean, especially when you're hiking and hanging out with someone that much time in the wilderness away from your phone, like I'm so gullible. You could be lying about everything, but you're so convincing that I'd be like, holy shit, that's unbelievable. So, I mean, I hope that you have all your facts straight, because it was awesome ingesting all that knowledge about the fact that so Trump will not be the first one to put like an octagon / boxing ring in front of the White House when he does it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It already happened.
Yep. Teddy used to box diplomats.
Did they think that he was as crazy as Trump for doing some of the shit that he was doing back then? Is that a bad example?
I don't think it's the same necessarily, because like a lot of those stories didn't really get out because the media wasn't the same, like where you didn't have they were very selective of what they actually put out to the media. So I don't think a lot of people knew about all of it. I think they knew that he was like an outdoorsman and things like that, but I would doubt that the average public knew that he would bring like a leader from Egypt and be like, hey dude, you want to go fisticuffs right now? Like,
Yeah.
let's settle this in the ring.
I wonder what the public response would have been if that would have gotten out.
They probably would have.
Shit.
He probably would have got the third term.
He also he was blind in one eye from one of those fights at the White House.
Yeah.
And he tried to hide it because he was very ashamed of it. So he just pretended like he had full vision for the rest of his life.
But just the foresight to protect the national forest the way they have, and obviously, which will be a big component about what we do moving forward. Like, I've been to the one in Utah. Like,
is that
Kanab?
Zion, or I have no
Zion.
No,
I've
or
been to Zion.
Okay, you've been to Zion, but what's the big national park in Utah? Is that Zion?
Zion, yeah.
Oh, all right.
It's right at the southern part, like near Kanab. I remember I stayed at the time I was dating my girl, and we had a couple dogs, and we stayed at this like dog hotel, and it was probably like a 3 to 4 hour strike anywhere we wanted to go and check out. And it's just such a different terrain than where we went, right? So that's the crazy part, even about just North America in itself, is how you can have Pacific Northwest, and then you could be in the desert, and then you could be like all these different terrains, the Rockies, whatever it may be. So just a fascinating place we live in. I can't wait to explore more of it, brother.
Yeah, and I was so excited to finally get to British Columbia, because I've never even been to the Pacific Northwest in America. So that was my first time in that region. And the last time you were on this pod, we mentioned Tofino as a spot we would like to go. And at that point, it just seemed like some magical place on the edge of the map that, was hard to even comprehend it really existed. But now I've seen it with my own eyes, and I would say it lived up to the hype.
Yeah, very remote and peaceful. I would say that if like, you and a small group of people, like I'm jammed up here. But you and a significant other, you and a small group of people, maybe you and a bunch of like guy buddies on a bachelor party if you're kind of out of the partying phase of your life in like a Vegas type sense. It's such an amazing place. You can go surf. It's got great hiking. The fishing and the cuisine is incredible. And I really think it's just a place that you can go and get off the grid, and provides like in the morning how foggy it can be on the beach, and then by the afternoon how all the sun forces it away. So it just gives you so many different looks and gives you a lot of peace. And I just think that it's a very unique place that everybody should check out while they're on this planet.
It also has great, what's the word I'm looking for, Biz? It's got great
topography.
Topography, yep.
Which we will show at the top of the Cox Bay hike.
Yes.
We were in Cox Bay, and they have this little micro hike. Episode 2 of this season, we got 3 episodes. Originally, it was only supposed to be 2, but we got so much good stuff and had that surprise ending with the crew we'll end up talking about. But where is it going to go here? What was I talking about? The hiking?
Topography.
Oh, the topography. This is kind of the only episode that we're not going to have like a big hike, right? But also you get a bit of it at the top of Cox Bay, where you could see these little mini islands inside the inlet part of Tofino. So the one thing that we try to do also in amongst the humor and the journey is show how beautiful some of these places are off. And I would say that BC, it would be very difficult to top the aesthetic of British Columbia. Would you agree?
I totally agree. Like I mean, I've spent a lot of time in like Alberta area too, but like it's like that part, the Pacific Northwest, no matter which country you're in, is unbelievably beautiful.
Yeah. I would say that Alberta would be one eventually that we would go do. Just because it's not far removed from Vancouver, but it still has so many beautiful elements and aspects. And it's a lot more like of a conservative place than British Columbia. British Columbia is very liberal, right? And that's what we love about it. It preserves everything. And they do a lot of that in Alberta, but Alberta is where they have like the Calgary Stampede. It's the oil province. It's got the rodeo. So it's got more of that, like that southern, like it's almost like Jackson.
Yeah.
Wyoming.
Jackson, Wyoming.
That style.
Yeah, and like the Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba are like the Alabama, Louisiana, and Mississippi of Canada.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, the big middle chunk.
Yeah.
Manitoba's pretty flat. Saskatchewan is too, but Saskatchewan has its very beautiful rolling plains aspect to it. Alberta being the most beautiful for sure out of those 3. And
big time.
But yeah, it's unreal. Canada's an unreal place.
And Tofino is like one of the foodie capitals of Canada. I looked up what we ate at that Schooner restaurant. Oh my God, this was so good. It's crab, baby shrimp, creamy brie, jack cheese, and scallions, all tucked inside fresh halibut.
Wow.
Oven baked and finished with apple brandy, green peppercorn cream sauce.
That was the place that had the ship in the restaurant?
Yes.
When we first got there. Yeah, it actually, the guy's grandfather had started it and owned it, and then it was passed down to the father, and then the son took it over with, I believe he had one other brother or one other family member, but they weren't like that involved. He was kind of the main guy. So he was like taking us at the door. He was bringing us upstairs, helping serve plates. Like what a guy he was. And going back to the food, Donnie, it was every meal we had was 10 out of 10.
Best fish taco of my life from Tacofino.
Tacofino is a place where they actually branched out. So that was the original one. So it's a taco stand and it's in a truck. So in Lower Mainland, they have a bunch of them in Vancouver and stuff. So you can get them if you're in Vancouver. So just Google Tacofino. But I think you'd be hard pressed to beat the OG truck there. But if you're in BC, I don't know if they've branched out in other provinces, but you can check it out if you're in Vancouver.
We also got to go for a swim up there. I was reading, so British Columbia, I think, has the most mild weather in all of Canada. And I think Victoria, especially on Vancouver Island, that's like the most mild weathered place in all of Canada.
Yeah. That's where it's our San Francisco. A lot of the homeless will migrate there just because they can survive the winters. It's not as bad. It does rain and it does get cold. So that's a bit of a kick in the dick, but yes, definitely the most mild climate. Rarely do they get snow in British Columbia, especially on the island. And actually, Vancouver is known as Seattle for being one of the most rainy places on the planet, and it is, especially during the winter. It can be depressing. When you get over to Victoria, on the island, it gets about 15% less precipitation a year. So it just like there's the way that the clouds roll down and stuff like that. So they actually dodge it. So it's a little bit better on the island than the mainland in Seattle.
And you're trying to lay down your roots there. Like when we were driving around Victoria Island, you were like, oh, I bought that property. I bought that property. Oh, I'm renting out that spot.
So I just really, really believe in BC and particularly that pocket. It still has a very big sense of community, and the development and what they issue is not crazy. So I just like that aspect of it. And I moved to the States. My first year of junior, I played as a 16-year-old in North Bay with the Centennials. And then that second year, like in the off season, our team was sold to Saginaw, Michigan. So I've been living in the States basically since I was 17, majority of my year. So I love the United States, and it'll probably, if I'm working here, always remain majority of my home. But a big part of me misses Canada, like the temperament of Canadians, and everything about it. And obviously a lot of my friends are up there. So I always wanted to establish Canadian roots. And I don't know if I ever started a family, I think I may go back to Canada to do that. So I always I discovered that place because of friends, and you got two marinas around the corner. You could go fish and catch something to cook for dinner. Great schools around the area. So there was just a lot about it that made me believe in it. And so, yeah, I don't know. I tend to invest in what I believe in.
I believe in it too. Yeah. I believe in it too. I mean, it's not cheap. I don't know if I'm quite there, ready to invest in Canada, but I mean,
what do you mean, buddy? It's a $1.41 right now, US to Canadian. You'd be a gazillionaire over there.
Do they have like? I think they make it hard for Americans to like move to Canada. I don't know.
Really?
I don't think it's quite as easy as it seems. You'd think it would be. You got to get like a special working visa or whatever. Vancouver too was very impressive.
Let's just get married, Donnie.
Hell yeah.
We'll get married. We can pull that off.
Yeah.
I know enough
baby.
about each other now where we can answer all those questions they ask you to get your green card.
I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry. But Vancouver was awesome. And you mentioned it gets rainy in the winter there, but then you can just take the Sea to Sky Highway, hour 45 minutes, and you're in Whistler, where all that rain turns to snow. And Whistler's the nicest ski town I've ever been to.
Real okay, interesting to hear that.
Yeah, I love
feel
the
like
vibes
they've
there.
done a good job of commercializing it, but then keeping its integrity where it's not like being like trashed. They keep it clean. It's very respectful. You get a lot of people from Australia and London who come there, specifically Australians, to come work, and they're such hard workers. Like we were talking to the one guy who's been managing bars there that we ran into when we just got down from that Russet Lake hike. It just so happened he was there, and I'd met him before. And they run a tight ship there, and you got both beautiful mountains, Whistler, Blackcomb, the tram system they have. It is a very, very beautiful pocket of the world. And I would probably put, Whistler is probably a top 5 ski location to go to in the world, if not top 10.
I was also reading, though, it's got a very high STD rate, the highest in Canada, I think.
Wrap it up. Buy some rubbers. They're not there. You got the dollar. If you're an American listening, you got the dollar exchange. Rubbers are cheap. Put a garbage bag and some duct tape on it. Who gives a
yeah.
Is the Zoom distracting you at all?
I feel seasick.
I think
that was like when I went fishing for the first time, and we can get into our fishing component.
Do we want to have them cancel out and then call back in?
No, I love it. I'm in now.
Okay,
I'll try to stay still.
No, keep it going. Yeah, I need my stomach need to be taught a lesson so I don't become a pussy.
I do kind of feel like I'm on a boat.
We're magnet fishing now, boys. Yeah.
Speaking of boats, though,
quickly going back to your original.
Now we're getting really wavy.
No. You said the cam.
Yeah.
The Sea to Sky Highway. So if I could recommend anyone, instead of maybe taking a puddle jumper up to Whistler, land in Vancouver, rent yourself a car, and enjoy the Sea to Sky Highway, which is about a 90-minute drive, let's say 2 hours from Vancouver to Whistler. The first hour of it, you're going to be able to see parts of the Pacific Ocean on the inlet side, and it's just beautiful watching all the topography. And whoa, and it's just really worth it. Like, you know, you won't find many more beautiful highways on the planet. So we show that in this episode too. That's coming up.
Yeah, and then episode 2, which is out now, like, I think that's one of the, most entertaining fishing scenes. Okay, now what is this?
I don't know why it's doing that. Let me see if I can fix it.
It's so much.
Well, it's even when he's perfectly still. Oh. Boom.
I thought I fixed it.
If you're listening to the pod, his camera just keeps on zooming in and out. It's this new auto zoom that they have.
I guess Dave Portnoy was bitching about it too, and it's kind of a pain in the ass. And when I signed in, I clicked that button by accident. Okay, so let's go to video.
I think we keep it all. This is a good learning experience for everybody.
I just don't know how to turn it off. I'm an idiot with computers.
No,
boys.
I think it's good. We could keep rolling.
Yeah, I don't know if the YouTube viewers are gonna be getting dizzy as well.
No,
well, listen, they can just bitch in the comments and tell me to fuck off.
Yeah,
and
all
just
right.
keep trashing me.
Okay,
they can send hate mail to my house. We'll give my address at the end of the podcast. Well, how about we let all of them paddle me?
Yeah,
okay.
Like it's Dazed and Confused, and they all get one whip.
But yeah, I loved fishing with you in Tofino. The first time we went fishing in Boston, you got seasick immediately and just went in the cabin, and I didn't see you the rest of the time. But you totally redeemed yourself in Tofino. We turned it into a competition, who could catch the most salmon. I was the portside pounders. You were the starboard squids or something like that.
I changed my name 3 times.
Yeah.
So I got hooked up through a guy, Dan Hamhuse, there's another guy's name who owns it. There used to be another hockey player who was with them. He's not involved anymore, but they own the marina and the restaurant there where we went and ate Shelter, where when we caught this fish, we brought it back, and this unreal Brazilian guy, he cooked up our fish that we'd caught and made us a dish in 45 minutes. Like, the people there were so incredible to us, and they directed me to this fishing guide, Lance, and he took us on this journey. He was entertaining, like, he understood the camera. He was extremely knowledgeable. I'm sure you'll see more of Lance in the behind the scenes, like the come down, as we call it, episode once we release that. But I think it's fun to be a little bit competitive, and it's just fun. I don't want to say like ultra competitive where I want to fucking kill the guy, but like, let's play for something, and it quickly turned into a competition. And the way that it ended up playing out, people are going to think that the fishing comp was scripted. It was ridiculous. It might be one of the most entertaining fishing scenes I've ever seen.
Double overtime. I think that.
It went to triple.
Oh,
overtime.
triple OT. Holy shit. Well, I was just glad I beat you in something on this trip, which was surfing. Because after you bundled me in the mountain biking and then beat me in triple overtime in fishing, I at least was a better surfer than Biz.
You were incredible.
I would not say I was incredible. Just I was actually able to get up on the board.
Yeah, you had great balance. I would say, for someone who came in out of shape because your kid, and you just had your kid and you're busy doing that, maybe not in the peak shape of your life, you're a fucking goat, dude. You can hike, you can battle and get through it. Like, you don't complain. You did that gross grind one where you were joking up a bit because of how hard it was, but yeah, you're a machine, dude. And the fact that you have as good a balance to get on and stay on a surfboard, tip of the cap to you, brother.
Yeah, and I think people don't expect it. In episode 3, we were hiking with a guy, Chase, and we filmed a testimonial with him, and he was like, Wonton was just like, had this goofy walk to him and this like expression on his face. It just seemed like this guy was not going to make it. And then boom, I was the first ones to arrive. First one to finish the hike.
You're talking about episode 3?
Yes.
That's probably the most fucked up I've seen you on like, in our work setting, but you were in an unreal zone and mood when we got there.
I was.
Was that the highest you've been filming peaking?
I don't know. The top of Mount LeConte might take the cake. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you were very.
What about when you did the meth?
Oh yeah, I was not filming. That was
Okay.
pre-Barstool days.
You took meth?
Accidentally. Accidentally. It was given to me as yaba, and I was like, oh, that sounds exotic. So I did it, and then my heart started pounding through my chest, and an Australian guy was like, yaba? That's just another word for meth.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And how long was that come down?
That was a good maybe 48, 72 hours.
You're that amplified and you're beating that much for that long?
Yeah, for like 48 hours. And then when I finally came to, I had realized that I'd been walking around without shoes on. So the bottom of my feet were shredded. I'd been chewing my cheeks. So I was in a lot of pain after that. We're never doing meth on these hikes. No matter how tired we get, we are never resorting to meth.
Chaps,
biz.
had you heard this story before?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite stories ever.
Yeah.
Like, because it does make sense, you know, like somebody gives it to you, you automatically turn down meth if you're a normal person, I feel like.
Yeah. So you give it some fancy name like that.
Yeah, like I feel like that's tribal, it sounds
Yeah,
like.
and like I wasn't at...
it's like basically strong tobacco is what I would think. Or like weed related, not fucking methamphetamine.
Yeah, I wasn't at like a truck stop. You know, I was in Laos, a foreign country, and I was like, oh, maybe this is the cool drug that all the locals do. But yeah, it was just another word for meth.
I honestly thought meth was just an American thing too.
Oh, no. Meth is big. There's, I think some guy got executed in Indonesia for trying to import like pounds of meth.
Oh.
So what's the point? What's the point of doing it, guys? Meth. Like, who would want to be like do that for 48 hours?
I mean, some people just like being wired, but I cannot explain why the world has a meth problem. That's above my pay grade.
Yeah, I would have no idea either. I'm just like a weed guy. I've never done even mushrooms.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Would you ever, if we took you on a hike, would you ever just even do a small amount?
I'd do a lot. Yeah. I'd be totally in.
That would be fun to do. Chaps' first time doing mushrooms on one of our hikes. I think we would probably have you join us in the Northeast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think doing it outside in nature is a better idea than him like doing it in the Barstool office.
Yeah, I'd be totally down.
Absolutely.
Seeing we're talking about peaks, I think we should go through our peaks and valleys of the whole trip. That's something we did after the pilot episode, but we never officially did for British Columbia.
You're talking about like my worst moment of the trip?
That would be your valley. So your peak is like the highlight. Like, what was your favorite moment of the whole trip? The valley would be what was your least favorite moment of the trip or where you were feeling the worst?
Oh, man, I mean, the only valley was probably the way I felt after the descent after Russet Lake. It was just a lot on my knees. And it was because we went downhill that whole time. I felt like day one on the way to Russet Lake, it was up, down, up, down, up, down. So you're getting a break on certain sides of your leg and muscles. So I would just say maybe the pain I was in. But I mean, at one point in the trip, I took ketamine. Are we allowed to talk about that?
Yeah, I think so.
I was blown away about how awesome it felt to bring you in like a calm trance and also to manage the pain. It was the last thing we did as far as hiking, and our body had been beat up for a week as far as travel and all this hiking. And I didn't even, I barely noticed. I was just enjoying the entire way up to Moat Lake. So I really didn't have many valleys on this. This was a great journey for me. At some times I got a little bit fatigued. Donnie was like the one morning I slept in basically till like 10, 15 minutes before we had to get out the door. And he was kind of giving me attitude about it. But like I had the breakfast place. It was right there. And I'd lined up the fishing guide, which we were paying for a full day. So it's like, if we're fucking 10, 15 minutes late, like he ain't bitching. I'm paying him full pop for a half day. So so he started being a little poopy pants with me.
No,
the next morning,
you got poopy pants?
He got poopy pants. The next morning, who forgot to set his alarm?
Wow. You can't get poopy pants and then forget to set your own alarm.
So I walked in, I was like, hey, and he's like stressing out. Oh my God, I didn't set my alarm. I'm like, hey, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Relax. We're here.
We were on island time.
We were on island time, baby.
Yeah.
That was probably my valley, seeing Donnie poopy pants at me for being 10 minutes late out the door.
Why were you poopy pantsed?
I don't know. It was a long time ago. I don't think I was actually that poopy pantsed. I mean, we had a lot to pack in a short trip, so every minute counts. But I think we accomplished everything we set out to accomplish.
Oh, I would say that I had a blast with you guys. Like there was no issues. Like I think the best part about it is we don't know each other that great, but we're able to shit on one another.
Yeah.
You have to be able to shit on your buddy, and sometimes like I'll give it to him, and so Corey's great at giving it. Corey's great about staying in the middle, and then we go to him as like the referee. And then Tyler was the perfect fourth. We had such an amazing group of guys that it made it so enjoyable.
And I think people enjoy seeing us argue like an old married couple.
We are.
Yeah.
And that's just natural. That's not hamming it up. That's, we have our moments, and it's great.
Yeah, but like people were asking me after the first episode came out, they're like, were you actually furious at Biz after he abandoned you on the mountain biking trail? And like, when I got to the bottom, I was a little shocked you didn't wait for me. But then I like started playing it up even more. I mean,
yeah, I could tell.
Yeah, so I got some things off my chest, and then we were back to being good. I think in terms of valleys, though, I might agree with you. That's something we didn't really capture in the first episode. So after we camped up at Russet Lake, we had just a 13-kilometer downhill hike, and like the first 3 quarters, I was feeling great, but then that last quarter, you're wearing like a 40-pound pack, and it just starts to like, wear on your shoulders, and your knee cartilage starts to give way. And
I feel like going downhill, it's your shins.
Yeah, your shins, knees, and just like your shoulders from carrying that pack. So yeah, the last hour of that hike down, like the moment we got on flat ground, it was like we just walked directly into a bar, and then we couldn't like move off our seats for a good hour.
We were there
and a half.
about what, 90 minutes? Yeah, about 90 minutes.
90 minutes.
It's just
couldn't
because
even
when
move.
you're going up, you're using your glutes, your hammies, like that strong backside of your leg. On the way down, especially when you're doing it over and over and over, and you don't have breaks, it's just you're destroying your shins, your VMOs, which is the muscle like on the inside right above your knee. It just doesn't get that much action. So
your toes too. Like
especially if you're wearing new boots like Biz. That was insane. He took boots fresh out the box and wore them for our first hike.
Yes, but I'm a veteran where I couldn't believe this when Tyler, I think, only brought his one pair of socks. The one thing I learned very early, like when I was dating a girl I was talking about earlier, she introduced me to hiking, and it was a savior, right? Because we work on our phones constantly. So these trips I do, they recharge me. It gets me off my phone for the most part. But she said right away, like she got me the ones that have the toe things, where you put and they capture each toe, and then I would put another pair of socks on. I didn't have the toe ones for this trip, but each hike we were going on, I was bringing 5-6 fresh pairs of socks for like a 48-hour period.
Yeah,
like,
you just got to watch Forrest Gump one time to know that's what you're supposed to do on hikes.
Yeah, well, there you go. There you go.
And then you mentioned the ketamine. Yeah, it was not like Biz didn't bring his own ketamine. We just happened to find someone who had it. And I was like shocked that they were using it on a hike. Cause like I tried ketamine once, and you're just like, you lose all balance. I was glued to my mattress. This was in China. Someone was ringing the doorbell, and I literally couldn't get up off the mattress to answer the door. And it felt like it was probably just 10 minutes. They were ringing the doorbell. It felt like 2 hours, and I'm just trying to peel myself off the mattress. But I guess in like small doses. In small doses, it's good to disassociate.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it did. And yeah, it was, you put it in your lip. It's very minimal amount.
Yeah, it was like a chew.
I've taken it. I've stored it before, where kind of like what you're talking about, you feel like you have the moon boots on.
Yeah.
Where you're just moving slow. I've never done enough to where I'm paralyzed.
Okay.
You're just a different breed, I guess.
That's good.
Crystal meth, ketamine. You do it all. He does it all, folks.
Listen, I don't seek it out. It just happens to find me. But
no doubt.
Those days are gone.
Yeah. The one element of episode 3 where we meet this guy halfway up the hike. who set up a lemonade stand?
Yes. Armand's Magic Show. So episode 3 drops in a couple days. We got a lot of new characters.
This is when it gets a little dicey.
This is insane.
Got run over by a truck.
It was like touch and go if I was going to die or not.
These routes, it's like a minefield. You got to catch up to those guys.
We're on a different planet right now, man.
Oh, no, wait, no. I'm going down.
This doesn't make sense now, does it?
This Suzuki purrs like an Irish gypsy.
Can you believe it?
Tune in just for Armand's Magic Show. That guy was a beaut.
I cannot wait to see the clip. I would imagine the clip goes somewhat viral if it's chopped up properly. But what he was able to do for us in like a pop-up lemonade stand in the middle of a national park, just for the morale boost, it was a mic drop moment. So that was huge. And as well as obviously the sentimental element to linking up with Tyler, who's getting ready for his another Olympics, and hopefully he can bring home another gold.
Yeah, so in episode 3, we link up with this guy, David Vobora, and who runs the adaptive... David Vobora. He was Mr. Irrelevant in the NFL. He founded the Adaptive Training Foundation in Dallas, Texas, and he brought along 3 of the adaptive athletes that have trained at his center. And we crushed a big hike, so shout out Tyler, Jacob, and Chase, who were the 3 adaptive athletes. One was an above-the-knee amputee, one was a double below-the-knee amputee, and one was a single below-the-knee amputee. And that was a nice change of pace because, like me and Biz, we like to complain a lot, and it's mainly just for content. But when you're hiking with amputees, you don't have a lot of room to complain. And when I was
you take ketamine and you shut the fuck up.
Yeah. And when I was researching like who this David Vobra was, what the Adaptive Training Foundation was, I just Googled it, and a Chaps video popped up actually when he did Zero Blog 30. Him and Kate went to his clinic in Dallas.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. So we did a old like tour with Starbucks, and one of the spots that they went to was different veteran organizations that were doing great things, and that one popped up, and I was like, yeah, let's go check these folks out. And that dude's intense, man. David's an intense guy. He has not a moment of chill, like from when I was around him at least. And
well, you saw him in the training center.
Yeah,
we saw
like
him kind of just out
environment.
there on the trail, but it did seem like he was telling us, he's like, they work these amputees hard. He's like, we don't treat them with kids gloves. We're not like, oh, you're missing a leg, so we're gonna go easy on you.
There's no like even acknowledgement really that they're like amputees. Once they get in and start training, it's like we figure out what we're gonna do here and then we're gonna do it. And I love that shit. And I know veterans love that. Like there's nothing worse than being a veteran and people treating you like you're broken. And when you have a visible wound like that where you lost it in some horrific way and people get back to the point where they're just treating you normally, that's all you want. So when you're in a gym and people are like, oh, can I help you do this? Can I help you do that? Most people in that position don't want that. They want the same thing that Biz does when he goes into the gym. Like you go up, you set your rack, and then you go. It's not like, oh, how are you feeling today, Biz? Are you feeling down? Do you need any help or anything like that? They just treat you like you're a fucking normal ass person.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And talking to the amputees, it seems like that's what they got out of training at his foundation.
That's what they needed.
Yeah.
They needed somebody. Also, some of them in the situations they're in and like the accident or whatever happening, right? Like Chase, he lost his leg, and I think that he needed to be taken out of that environment and just shown and given tools where it's like, this is your new way now. This is how you're not only going to get out of this, but you're going to keep progressing forward and be even a better version, regardless of you having your leg or not. So Chaser, who was the kid who was doing the oh shit moment goal on this specific hike, was introduced to us from Tyler, who was another adaptive athlete that David seeked out and brought down there and changed his life. I think 4 years, maybe a little over 4 years from the day that Tyler was brought down there and met David, he won a gold medal at the Paralympics for Team Canada in snowboarding.
That's so sick.
And Chaps, like you talked about him being on, the amount of energy he gives to help these people get back to where they need to be every day, waking up and next group. It's fucking nuts, man. And he deserves all the credit in the world. And he's a life savior.
And I mean, there's so many people that you could talk to that have that in them to be that motivating person for 6 weeks, like a 6-week course, that guy lives it every fucking day. And me and Kate did that trip probably 6-7 years ago at that point. And he's still getting after it, still doing it in a time where there was a time probably 5-10 years ago where there's so much focus on like injured veterans. That's kind of gone away some. Like there's not nearly as much of attention, but David is full throttle, like still doing it. It's really impressive.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that this piece sheds a lot of light on it because he deserves it. And he's actually, I just met with him. I went down there to do a Pink Whitney appearance, and I brought him out for dinner, and he explained to me that they're opening up a bigger facility. So they're actually expanding what he's got going. And I guess he's got a pretty big, beautiful gym as it is now.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And they're gonna build like a mega one, and he bought a parcel of land, so he's looking into it right now. But I gotta thank Donnie. So I got the original text from Tyler, and we'd already planned, and they had their flights booked to leave town before we ended up doing this. And I screenshotted the DM that Tyler sent when he reached out saying, Biz, I'm a huge Chicklets fan. I heard you guys are going to be in the area, and explained what they were doing with this Chase guy. So I forwarded it to him, and him, Corey, and Tyler, they changed their flights, and they said, I really think that this would be very cool to do and to capture, and it would be a great ending. So we basically changed up the ending of the trip, and Donnie helped facilitate it. And then, we were tired at that point, and we ended up leaving Tofino at 5:30, 6 a.m. in the morning after our last day there. And just doing this, I had the most energy I've had in like probably 10 years, being so fulfilled after this journey, that I'm so grateful that Donnie helped facilitate it and that we pulled through and got introduced to not only David, Tyler, and Chaser, but so many other unreal individuals like that Clint guy.
Clint's the man.
Clint Wood, and his father. You can explain the story better about him buying up the land.
I think his grandfather, or maybe great-grandfather, bought some land off the railroad company way back in the day, and then the area surrounding that land became a national park. But he was just
he
grandfathered
he didn't have to. He donated it.
Okay. Yeah.
Like it became national land, but I think he donated it back, but kept that 13 acres.
Yes.
Which is like, it's basically like an island surrounded. There's one strip of it that is connected to the land part, right? But all the rest is a beautiful freshwater lake that you can go hippo mode in, and you can legit drink the water. It's the cleanest, freshest water you've ever drank in your goddamn life. And it's the most stunning place I've ever seen.
Yeah. So this guy, Clint, he owns these 3 cabins on an island in a lake in a national park, where it's like you normally aren't finding a private cabin in the middle of a national park. And he was, nice enough to let us crash there for a night, and it was just pristine. He also told me I could host my 40th birthday party there, which I would love to do. So you have to hike like 6 hours to get there. I feel like that would weed some people out.
That's like the most 40-year-old.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. If you could afford it, you can also take a chopper in.
Oh, okay. So we'll be walking in.
Yeah.
So they have like these unreal mountain ranges right next to where it's the exterior part of the lake on the one side, where you can, like, there's been like famous snowboarders and skiers that go up there. And Clint and that Armand, is it Armand?
Armand, yeah.
Yeah, Armand. They're very good skiers. So they'll hike up there in the winter and bring their skis, and they'll walk up with their skis and then fucking ski down right into like where the lake part is. So the what it has and what it provides from a 12-month perspective is it's one of the most majestic places and pieces of land that I've ever seen in my life. So shout out to Clint. And if we do your 40th birthday, is it in the winter? When's your birthday?
No, it's in the summer. June.
Okay.
June 16th.
I think it would be cool to do it your birthday there, but I also think that it would be cool to film like an extreme skiing video at that location if guys would be willing to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be willing to do that, but
You would be there for the party, though.
Oh,
You'd be
for
there to
sure.
supply the crystal meth.
I mean, if you gave me crystal meth, I would do that for sure. That shit is. I think that's the one use where crystal meth would come in handy, if like extreme skiing or warfare, because you just don't feel pain.
Okay, what's your limit? Because I'm looking forward here. This one's going to drop. We're thinking about potentially Chaps going to Italy during the Olympics if that works out. If it doesn't, it seems like the most realistic next location would be Jackson Hole. So you try to think of these activities also around the hiking. Would you, Donnie, get on a bull?
No, probably not.
I've done it.
Yeah,
You have.
Yeah, you got rammed by a bull.
I've done it in high school, but I did it in high school too.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
I got scabies. It was terrible.
Wait, you
What's
got
that?
scabies from a bull?
It's kind of like skin lice,
I
essentially.
got that on my cock when I was in college, and like I went to the doctor, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna have to do some tests. Like, there's a chance it's herpes," and I was like, "What are you talking about? How
Yeah.
the hell?" And then they're like, "We'll let you know in like 2 weeks." Those were the scariest 2 weeks of my life. And then they got back to me. They're like, "It's just scabies, but not pleasant." I gave it to my roommates. It's a lot of wrestlers get it, I think, from the mats. But
Wow.
you got it from a bull?
Yeah, I got it because I would go over to my buddy Bo's house after school, and he had a farm, and like his family did rodeoing and all that kind of shit. And his dad was like, "Do you want to try this?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, I want to try it." But I was wearing like board shorts, like bathing suit. And he was like, "It doesn't matter, just get up there." And so I sat on it, and inside, like my thighs were just red and itchy and like pus and shit. And I went to the doctor, and they were
pus?
like, "You got scabies, man."
You got bovine scabies.
And the
I
medicine
thought
that
scabies was something you get on a boat.
that's scurvy.
Scurvy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I like the stuff that you have to put on it to get rid of it. It felt like bathing in battery acid. It was horrible.
Very painful. Yep.
But yeah, getting stepped on by him, that shit
Yeah.
hurts.
It went into your jeans, like, or what were you wearing?
I was wearing a bathing suit.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Not
so
ideal.
don't hop on a.
Not ideal.
Yeah. Don't hop
That's
on a
probably why
bull.
they wear
Chaps had his Speedo
A
on,
bathing
riding
suit.
the fucking bull.
Yeah. But no, like most other things, I'm game for. I would go skydiving. It just, I don't
would
know.
never skydive.
You wouldn't?
I don't think I would ever skydive.
Okay.
I don't think that the risk of it is worth the joy.
It's
pretty
yeah.
safe.
I think it is pretty safe. Like
I know, but it's like, do I really want to be the guy to die because I jumped out of a plane? I don't really.
That would be
I would-
embarrassing. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Have you done it before?
Yeah. I did it once.
What about you, Chaps?
No, I've done rappelling out of helicopters and stuff, but never jumped out of a plane.
That's where you have the rope. Mm-hmm. That's badass. I'd do that.
That's some of the most fun training days. I would
Yeah.
put my dog in between my legs and go down off the fast rope and drop into the water and have to get onto like a little boat. It was so much fun.
With your dog?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because I was a dog handler. Like I was, so I looked for bombs and stuff with my dog. And we would have to do different types of training in order for me to go certain places. And that was one, is learning how to rappel with the dog on your legs.
Wow. A German Shepherd?
Yeah, Belgian Malinois, but yeah.
Holy shit. That's a
Belgian
heavy
Malinois.
thing to.
What's
That's
that?
That's a heavy thing to put between your legs and rope down.
Yeah, they're like 55 pounds or so. So you're wearing like your gear, and then you have the dog in between your legs. And but once they get down, like once you actually hit the water, you can let them go off your legs, and then they just have the leash, and you tie the leash to your jacket, and then they just follow you along. It's pretty fun.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And it's different, right? It takes you out of what you're doing every day and out of the books too. The physical stuff's the best. What would, like, if we did Jackson, name some things you'd want to do? We'd have to shoot guns, obviously.
And yeah, I want to scale the Tetons.
For sure, that's happening. That's one of the hikes. I think that we have to fly fish because it's such a different experience. And we did it out of the boat the last time I was there, and we had an unbelievable guide. So having him there, he's kind of like an Armand and looks like him too. So it's funny that we would add that wrinkle.
Yeah.
You guys should do a duel, like a gun duel. like out there, because that's some old west shit. Like not with like 40 calibers or anything like that, but
Just like paintball guns.
yeah, paintball or pellet gun, something
Yeah.
that does like a less lethal gun, like that shoots like a beanbag,
I
something that
think it
really
would be
fucking
fun
hurts. But
to do more so, you have to do a course where you're shooting things.
Oh
and,
yeah.
And that's how we compete. I don't know if I need a BB in the eye.
It's crazy how like duels were very commonplace
Yeah.
a couple hundred years ago. That's
Still
just
legal.
like if you felt like your manhood had been insulted by someone, you would just challenge them to a duel. You guys would meet in a field, walk 10 paces apart, turn around and shoot. And best case scenario, sometimes you both turn around and both miss, but then you could both be like, all right, we were man enough to actually do this. Beef is settled.
yep.
So sometimes they may have just missed on purpose, but then it's like, okay, no one can call me a pussy. I just dueled this guy.
Yeah, and they can establish rules like how far apart you are and all that.
Yeah, but who's saying the guy doesn't jump on on 9 paces?
Yeah, but then I think you break the rules, and then
Yeah,
I think then it's like you get charged with a crime.
Yeah.
Like if you break the rules that is established, because you have to have like a mediator. So like if me and you were gonna have a duel, you'd have to have a guy, like you'd have Wit, and then Wit would argue on your behalf, and Donnie would argue on my behalf, and come up with the rules, and then they would let us know, and that's the agreement. So yeah, like a mediator.
So wow. Did he talk to the main guy to try to establish the rules that the main guy wanted?
Yeah, I'm sure that they like this is kind of what we're going, but then it's like you basically have an agent about your duel.
I'd be curious to know the stats on how many were killed, how many injured, how many shots missed, how many people cheated of like all the duels back in the day. They should have had like a slap fight league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Dana White would have been all over that.
Oh yeah.
You know?
I mean, can you imagine if you had duels that you could put on like pay-per-view or something like that? How many people would tune in? Like if you really wanted to settle a political debate, like in 2016, not have Trump and Hillary debate, but actually shoot at each other.
That's we could sell a lot of pay-per-views. doing
Yeah,
that.
Big time.
the last high-profile duel in the U.S. was 1859, but the last duel in Uruguay was 1971.
Oh, that's a big gap.
But yeah, I think duels.
Microsoft computers had already been started by
Yeah,
fucking
but no, yeah, duels have gone out of style.
so originally, obviously, you had the one shot, right? Because you had to pack it like a musket.
Yeah, it was just one shot, whatever happened. Hopefully you both missed. Sometimes both people made contact, but there weren't fatal shots, and sometimes one dude's dead. I'm sure sometimes both people were dead
Yeah.
if you both hit.
That's a bit of a buzzkill.
Yeah.
Away from duels, though, so you talked about your valley of the trip. What was your peak of the trip?
I mean, I just really think knowing at the end, like,
What? No spoilers.
that's true. Oh fuck, you say that this isn't live, is it?
No, it's not live, but Sam, just bleep out what he just said.
Wow, I almost ruined it. So just when we all finished the peak of being like, wow, what we set out to do and what we think we accomplished based on what we had captured, that was like a mega high. But I would just say all of it, like we really vibed well as a group. There wasn't like a lot of like genuine arguing, and we just had a lot of fun. So I would probably say, if I had to pick one, just Moat Lake. There were so many good moments, but Moat Lake and eating dinner that night and kind of celebrating the pinnacle of it all.
Yeah.
Peakin.
Yeah, like all the people you'll meet in episode 3, we only really hung out with them for 24 hours, but like I feel like they're close friends now. You know, you bond fast when you're doing
100%.
activities like that.
100%. Such great guys. And David's got so many amazing people also helping him, former NFL football players. And yeah.
My peak was also at Moat Lake, but when you're doing this hike, they're like, we need a few people to hike ahead because it's sort of like an island in the lake. And they're like, we have some boats there. So if people go ahead, they can get the boats and go to the other side of the lake, and it will save all of us like an hour of hiking. So I volunteered to do that. And then I left, and Corey and Biz are like, dude, there's no way Donnie's going to arrive with the boats. But if he does, he has totally redeemed himself. And I don't know what I had to redeem myself for. I think it's because on our first hike, I was the only one that had a map, and like I let us off the trail a couple times.
No, I think it's
Never too
because
far.
the water. We ran out of water.
Yeah, but like I can't be the only one thinking about water.
Originally, you had bought a huge bottle, and then you lost that bottle, and then you got a smaller bottle. So if we would have had the original bottle filled up, I think we would have been okay, because it was probably twice the size of it. And I was pretty good on water. I crush water.
That was my first time where it's like at the end of the hike, there's not just like a faucet for you to fill up. You just got to drink out of this lake. And we only had one water filter. I think if we all had a water filter, that we would have been fine. But I was a little concerned. Just we had run out before the end. Like you're on this hike, there's no other water sources until you reach this lake. And so we were completely out by the time we arrived. But I saw a ton of people in the YouTube comments being like, oh, you didn't even need a water filter for that lake. Like it's pristine in the middle of British Columbia. But I think to be safe, you always want to rock a filter.
I think why not? Just do it. Because like the worst thing in the world would be knowing you got a 6-hour hike down and catching a bug and you're keeled over.
And then
once you get a bug in you
with no water.
Yeah, because then you don't want to keep drinking that.
Well, right, yeah, like especially you I would recommend always get a filter. We should start, and I'm sure there is one, a list of must-haves when you go on an overnight hike, because you gotta give people direction, because there's probably a lot of people that. Do you think there's a lot of people that listen to Drop a Pin that have never been on an overnight hike?
1,000%, yes.
50% of them?
For sure.
At least 50. I mean, I would say probably 90.
Yeah, I mean, that was the first overnight hike of your life, Biz.
Yep, it was. But I also, how many of them do you think hike have gone on even like a full day hike that listen?
I don't know. I'd like to think we have an outdoorsy fan base, but I'm sure there's a lot that have not.
Yeah, maybe this fan base. Yeah,
a full day hike.
Yeah.
I mean, like if you ask people in the Barstool office, I would say more than half of the company has not gone on a full day hike.
Yeah, like I know Kate's a big hiker.
And I would just say to people listening, like, I didn't do it beforehand, and I'm just very grateful that I was introduced to it. And I think that, now I don't drink, and I don't go out to bars and stuff like that. So what can I do with my spare time that brings me joy? And if you have a bunch of friends, you should definitely take a leap and go on an overnighter, bring some shrooms. Like you could even drink on a hike, treat yourself at the end, but it's a fun journey. I think you learn a lot about yourself when you do these types of things. And it's also a little bit more productive, I guess, than sometimes just sitting around a bar or going boozing with your buddies.
Doom scrolling on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's another thing too. Like I get caught up in being on my phone. It's like majority of my job. When you get out in the wilderness, when you have no bars, it just forces you to kind of be present. And, I was talking about trying to get Trevor Linden. He's a famous hockey player who played for the Vancouver Canucks, and that's where he resides. I think he's even from BC or around there. But since he's retired, he's a G, by the way. Like he's very smart when it comes to like investing, but he is a big outdoorsman where he'll go 5-6 nights out in the wilderness and track 150 kilometers, where he is just a machine. And I talked about it with him. He's just like, you'll never be more present than you are when you know that you're 3 days removed from basically civilization, and you're out there and you're listening to these sounds and you have no cell reception. And it's even in some cases, he'll do them alone. That's you got to have some fucking gonads to be doing that.
Especially in that part of the world where there's so many bears and shit.
Oh, you're fucking nuts. But once again, he's like, you'll rarely experience that level of presenceness, if that's even a word, than you will than do an outdoor activity like that. So hey, start small. Start with one overnighter.
Yeah, or just start with a full day hike if you haven't. But no, it's very therapeutic. Like I felt great after that. I have a serious problem with cell phone addiction. I'm just like glued to it, constantly scrolling, and it kind of like takes just throwing me in the wilderness to get me detached from it. So
bingo, same here, Donnie. Yeah. I think we all do.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, though, I did find the boats. I got the boats, and then that scene might be my favorite in the episode when you guys are waiting on the far side of the lake, and I come with the chariots.
I knew you were going to do it. And yes, that was one of the happiest moments of my life. I've never had a kid, right? So great job, Donnie. You contributed to it, buddy. Dada.
Love to hear that. Are there any final thoughts that you have on the trip or just on British Columbia in general?
I was introduced to BC. I actually dated a girl from Vancouver when I was around the age of 20. I went out there for the first time, experienced it, was blown away, and then was lucky enough to meet very close friends in Vegas, of all places, where they convinced me and Boyd Gordon to move there one summer when I was playing in the NHL. And I moved there that summer, and I've never not gone back for a summer. And Vancouver and BC is such a special place in my heart. I'm so grateful that it was introduced to my life. And I'm happy that everybody watching will be able to see it and hopefully eventually go enjoy it for themselves. And I'm just really thrilled at what's to come. You know, we never really knew what was to come from the original pilot when we went to Tennessee. Mm-hmm. And I think that with this one, we've proved that we can, we should be able to get the next one sponsored and continue to get to do these fun things and experience these wonderful adventures with other people. Yeah. You know, and even from Barstool, like we talked about Chaps coming in one. We should be jumping out of a fucking chopper with our fucking canines with Chaps.
Hell yeah.
That's what we could be doing, man.
Yeah.
We could be doing maybe a military version of one.
Yeah. Could do a micro hike with Frank the Tank. I don't know if I think he has finally gone on a hike. Someone like Jersey Jerry, I wouldn't be shocked if Jersey Jerry has never been on a hike.
Well, yeah. So implementing the whack pack of Barstool would be awesome. Jersey Jerry for one. Not the drop a pin, Jesus. Son of a Boy Dad. They just did fly fishing.
Yes.
So it would be fun to somehow get Sass, Francis, and Roan out for the fly fishing part in Jackson. Like maybe they're on a team, and then me and you, and then we add one more to the mix for our team, and we compete. I
was talking to Sydney Wells, and I know they're talking about doing some sort of survival show where you take like Barstool employees out into the woods and just see how long they can last. And you just have like a button when you give up. I'm sure it would not be long. It would probably be, I would say, I mean, most people probably aren't making it past 12 hours. But, I mean, you just having some military experience. I don't know if do they teach you like outdoors survival skills when you're training in the military?
Like depending on your job, yeah.
Okay. But I would love to see you compete in that biz if they ever get that off the ground.
So what do you get? Only the clothes on your back?
They would probably try to turn it into like a
reality
show
of draft.
sorts.
Like there's like a draft of stuff you could get.
Yeah, or if you complete a goal, then you get a lighter or something, or you get, maybe you get like a steak, something like that. But credit to you. When we did our overnight hike, I just wanted to go to bed. I was like, I'm going to eat a protein puck and call it a night. You were like, no, we're eating hot food. You got the camping stove set up with only matches. And we ate like kings, I guess.
That's where having the fourth and having Tyler come along, he got that propane thing going, and he did that. So without him, maybe we don't end up having hot food that night. So once again, to have Tyler in the mix and have that four guys, we were the dream team, and I can't wait to keep this thing going and add more of the Barstool whack pack to the mix. And last thing I'm going to ask, and I might have already asked this, what's up with that picture of Chaps naked in the hot tub?
Oh,
is that milk?
No, it's.
Wait, what? I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, okay. So Caleb Presley did like a Barstool yearbook essentially. Like it was probably 7-8 years ago at this point. But one of the things, do you remember a long time ago where my blog about fucking that pumpkin went like crazy viral and it got Part of My Takes ESPN show canceled? Like one of the reasons why. So he put that picture in that because of that whole thing. So I'm the centerfold of that.
So you took that after the fact?
Yeah. So I actually had to fly to New York specifically only for that photo shoot. And when I got there, he wasn't telling me what it's about. And he was like, you need to get naked, get into this hot tub, and we're going to cover you with pumpkins, and you're going to be the centerfold. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm in.
That is unbelievable. That is unbelievable. That's what were you resistant to that at first?
Oh no! As soon as you told me, I was like, "Where do I take my clothes off? I'm ready to go." You tell me I could get naked in a bathtub full of pumpkins. I'm fucking there, brother.
Oh, I love that. Hey, and then speaking of Sydney Wells, yes, that would be a great. Maybe we get her down for our third for the fishing part in Jackson if the Son of a Boy Dad guys link up.
Yeah, or like just hunting. Like if you go out in the woods and it's like we're not going to eat until Sydney Wells shoots a buck.
Yeah, but is it hunting time in the middle of summer when we would be going?
No.
There's a season for some sort of animal. There's always like, the hunting seasons
Birds,
change.
probably. Yeah.
There might be something we could eat. Like it would be,
I'd be honored
it would be
to
incredible
have her.
to do a hike where it's like we can only eat what we forage or kill.
Or protein pucks.
Yes, or protein pucks if they sign back on for season 2.
We'll eat the leather off our Watson gloves. Another plug to the sponsor. Boys, thanks for having me on.
Yes.
You guys are doing awesome stuff. You guys are the best, and so grateful to be a part of Barstool. And once again, shout out to all the amazing editors we got for putting all this magic together.
Speaking of the editors, we're about to talk to Corey and Tyler right now. So
Tell them I love them.
Will do, man. Thanks a lot. Thanks for always being down to earth. And I saw a YouTube comment that said we couldn't be more opposites, but yet we're so similar at the same time, which I kind of agree with.
I agree with it. Donnie, you're the man, buddy. Appreciate you guys.
All right, see you, Biz. Today's episode of Drop a Pin is brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. It's beginning to look a lot like holidays on the house at DraftKings Casino. Celebrate the season with bright lights and big wins on all your favorite casino games. Spin more than 1,000 slots, everything from the classic to exclusive new releases. New players get 500 spins over 10 days on your choice of cash eruption slots. Download the app and sign up with the code DROP. Then choose from 10 different cash eruption slots and let it spin in partnership with DraftKings Casino. The crown is yours.
My grandma would love this. She loved her slots.
Yeah?
The fact that she could just play slots from the comfort of her own home, she'd be having a blast.
Hell yeah. Get it, Nana.
Drop a Pin is also brought to you by Aura Frames. This thing makes the perfect gift. I got one for my parents last Christmas. Recently had a baby, and it's this digital picture frame, so now I can just constantly be sharing photos of my baby, and it just pops up in their frame. New ones all the time. They're always asking for updates. Now they don't even have to ask. I'm just sending the updates. I'm being proactive. So if you're in a panic right now, thinking about what to get for the holidays, don't freak out. Just go with an Aura frame. It's the best way to keep in touch with your parents, which is important. So you can just share photos. You can also share videos effortlessly, straight from your phone all year long. Personalize your gift by adding a message before it arrives, and you can have photos already preloaded onto it before it ships, and then you can just keep on adding. So my parents have been able to see my kid grow up. It's been awesome. You can't wrap togetherness, but you can frame it. And now for a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames, named #1 by Wirecutter, by using promo code WONTON at checkout. That is auraframes.com, promo code WONTON. The deal is exclusive to listeners, and frames sell out fast. So order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
Today's show is also brought to you by our friends at Huel. Every December, I promise I'm going to stay on top of my routine, and then suddenly I'm traveling. I'm at 3 different family dinners, and my nutrition plan falls apart. But this year, shockingly, Huel is the reason I'm actually solving this problem. That's Huel, Huel. I've been using the Huel Ready to Drink all year, and I'm leaning on it hard right now. Complete meal in a bottle with 35 grams of protein, 7 grams of fiber, and 27 vitamins and minerals. Literally ready to go. No prep, no mess, and keeps me full when the alternative is grabbing whatever holiday snack is closest. They have a new chocolate peanut butter flavor that is so good, it makes avoiding Reese's Cups just a little bit easier and cures my sweet tooth. And I've been loving Huel's new canned super green drinks too. There's 42 vitamins and nutrients, 7 grams of fiber, 25 calories, and no added sugar. In December, when my vegetable intake is quite low, I'm solving that this year. It's sparkling and actually tastes really good with the 3 flavors to choose from. We're talking apple, peach, and blueberry. If you're trying to stay fueled during this busiest, snackiest time of the year, Huel makes it easy, and Huel just launched into Targets nationwide. Find them in the health and wellness aisle. Nothing says holidays like spending all my money at Target decorating my place.
And now for our listeners, get 15% off your first order at Huel.com with code WONTON. That's code WONTON, minimum $75 purchase. Huge thanks to Huel for helping me stay sane and healthy this holiday season and for supporting the podcast. I know we've been talking a lot about peaking on this pod, and Huel kept me fueled on the trail. So once again, that's code WONTON at Huel.com. Today on Getting Cultured, we have Corey and Tyler, who were behind the camera our entire week up in British Columbia. Sure, it wasn't always easy, but I mean, first off, what were your first impressions of British Columbia in general?
I mean, I was blown away. That was my first time in Canada, and I was like just so stoked to be around in the mountains, see the peaks, the meadows, the ocean. It was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up near Windsor, but the western side of Canada is much more impressive.
Yeah,
so I was actually really blown away.
Let's not compare British Columbia to Windsor.
Windsor is nothing like BC, but yeah, it was beautiful. It was just like, I mean, we did Alaska, and it was like, I had no idea it was pretty much just like Alaska as far as like the views.
True. It also reminded me of China a bit, at least when we were in Vancouver.
Didn't expect that.
I think they have like one of the largest Cantonese populations in North America, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And
Getting into the airport, it was like, you notice like there's a lot of Chinese people.
And then the first 2 scenes of episode 1 include Chinese people, which was not planned.
No.
We went to a lookout to film the intro. There was a Chinese guy playing an instrument. We were like, can
Lovely
you play
man.
for us?
Yeah.
And then me and Biz were just talking about the grouse grind, and there was like a Chinese lady, and I started speaking Chinese with her, and Biz was like, why don't you get in the intro?
I will say that's one of the bonuses of doing these shows is like people think, everything has to go to plan, whereas I think the fun parts are when nothing goes to plan and we just pivot and we embrace the chaos of this woman just comes in and immediately starts talking to everyone and like, Tyler, roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she captured it.
Invited us out to China for a future season, maybe.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, Tyler is probably one of the only camera guys at Barstool that has camping experience. You've done hiking. And Corey, you're athletic, but before doing peaking, had you done a lot of hiking?
Yeah, I mean, I've camped a lot. I wouldn't say I've hiked a ton. I'd say I've camped I'd say my strength would be camping.
So what sort of camping is that? Was that when you just
overnight camps? I mean, where you roll in. I definitely haven't hiked to a campsite before.
where you can like drive into a
drive
campsite?
in, hang out for the weekend, pitch a tent, hang out, campfire. Yep. This was not that.
Is that something you would do as a family?
Yeah. Buddies of mine have done it.
Yeah.
Family growing up doing it, yeah.
That is fun. I feel like in movies and TV shows, the cliche is always like, "Oh, Dad wants to take the family camping again," and everyone's pissed off, and they're like, "This is gonna suck." Yeah. But I feel like you can have fun.
I think it depends on where you're at.
Yeah.
Like if you want to go camping in July in Florida, you're an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like that's just preposterous. But where you guys went and it's like San Francisco weather, that's great anytime.
Oh yeah.
Weather dependent.
Yeah, so that was your first overnight hike. We did not pack enough water.
No. Let's get into the preparation of this.
Yeah. Were you worried at all? I would say the only time I was like a little worried is when we first arrived at our campsite at Russet Lake. And that's when you're like, you could barely walk at that point. Like,
yeah, I think if you go back and watch the episode, when we're at I think when we hit that valley, you guys were doing Spit and Chicklets podcast, we were way up ahead. And I was like worried about bears. I'm like, we're low on water. My legs getting numb. Like I was already kind of in a state of like we might be fucked if we don't keep these guys rolling. But
Yes.
The view was daunting too.
Yeah.
Like seeing where we had to go, like down that valley and up another mountain.
Yeah,
It seemed like
I think we cut
holy
out.
shit.
I think we cut out a few times. You're like, yeah, it's like another hour, and then like 2 hours later, I'm like, bro, how far are we? And we're
Yeah.
like just sticking to a line that we don't really know how far it is, and
Yeah,
it was
all we could
it was
do
an
is
ass
follow the
kicking.
green line. It was, but did you think
Like,
like
you guys didn't have GPS or anything?
Well, we did, but it's like
we downloaded the map beforehand and then we lost service, so I could open up the map and I could see where we were on the green line. That
Dude,
was
you
point A
guys
to point
got to get
B.
a hiking
Yeah.
GPS.
That's if we can rewind a little bit. It was one of those like I don't want to be the Debbie Downer of the trips, but it's like I'm also in the background thinking about like how long is this going to take? Do we have this? Do we have this? Do we have this? Meanwhile, we got a golden retriever in Biz who's just gung ho. Donnie's used to roughing it. He's fine in any situation, but like I'm looking at it, I'm like, fuck, my leg's broken. Tyler's running low on water. We don't have this. We don't have this. Donnie's everybody. In the end, it all worked out, but there is an element of like, oh shit. We definitely should have prepped a little bit more. I had no idea how long. I thought it was going to be like 4 hours. So I had the least amount of water.
Because you can go on this app like All Trails and it tells you like how long it's taken people in the past, but everybody's completely different. We're trying to film a show like on the way, so we keep on stopping and filming. So it took us much longer. We did get the tent up before it was pitch black, which was great. Yeah. And then it never really got pitch black because we had that gigantic
Beautiful
moon come out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was like a spotlight.
That
crazy.
was definitely, I think, I think that might have been the highlight is Biz being in complete wonderment of like realizing the moon moved was like, it was probably the most genuine like moment of the whole thing. I was like, he's being completely honest right now. He has no idea.
Yeah, that moon really lifted spirits.
Yeah, that might have been the highlight of the whole trip.
So the moon, that's a very solid peak. And then in the back of my mind when we were like, oh fuck, like we're in really rough shape, our knees are banged up, I was like taking solace in the fact like Biz is pretty wealthy. Like if we had to just like call rescue and they like hit us with like a $4,000 bill.
I never thought we were going to die. I was like, yeah, we're definitely getting airlifted out of here. I was about halfway through when I was laying in the tent when you guys were cooking. I was actually, my left leg was just like locked up. So I'm like, we'll be fine. I mean, Biz is going to get us out of here. No worries. But
your leg loosened up overnight?
Yeah, overnight. I mean, I was just stretching it the whole time. So,
Okay, yeah.
It was, I locked up.
Yeah, I did. At one point, I was like, oh, it'll be like the first hike where we're like, we take a bunch of shrooms, have fun up top, hike down. When we got towards the end, I'd already had some shrooms. I was like, I'm not going to eat anymore because we have a lot to take care of. We got to get water. We got to get shelter.
That walk up, I could
food.
tell in your voice too, because I've shot enough with you where I know like everything's kind of easy going, and then like when I was like, dude, I'm like losing it. And then you started getting kind of serious, like, all right, we'll get some water for you. We don't want you to collapse. Like, be honest with me if you're feeling like you're dizzy or whatever.
Because Biz had given me the C, so he had named me the official leader.
You were the captain.
So
at
if
that
anything
point.
bad happened, it was officially going to fall on me. So that's when I was like, all right, I got serious. Started to prioritize you guys. Make sure you guys get water. Don't worry about little old me.
Yeah.
I'll survive.
I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that last 30 minutes was an ass kick, and I know Tyler was fine, but I was struggling at the end.
I mean, I was just surprised too because it's like going into it, it's like we have a tent pad reserved. We took like a gondola up. We're like, oh, it's only 8 kilometers. Like it almost seemed like it'd be like an easier touristy hike, but like once we got to the top of that gondola, it was like we're alone at that point.
Yeah, we didn't see a single, like maybe the first like hour of the hike, we saw one couple. After that, we didn't see a single human. In terms of peaks, what were your peaks? In terms of, well, I guess valleys, do we all agree it would be when we were just worried up at Russet Lake? Or
I think actually the hike back was worse because we took the easier route, but it was so fucking long. And like it got to the point like we were just like there was rocks on the trail like, oh man, these fucking rocks are going through my.
That was the most painful part of the hike. I think
that
was the hike
was
down from Russet
Biz's
Lake.
Valley too. We just talked to him.
So if you see in the video when we're down at that pub that was like at the bottom of the mountain, which was like it was like heaven. We finally saw it. We're like, oh thank God. That was like I could barely walk. Like the blisters on the bottom of my feet were like golf balls. It was disgusting, and that was rough. By the end, I don't think I could have gone much further.
Yeah,
personally.
it just kept going too. Like the second we thought we'd like reach the village, it would be like, okay, another 3-4 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my god.
Yeah, what was it coming back? It was like 12 kilometers or
13
something.
kilometers.
13
kilometers downhill.
Bro.
Yeah, I think it
Always going to
was-
be worse downhill.
Yeah.
That was crazy. And I was not prepared.
But on a brighter note, some more peaks other than the moon.
Oh,
Are we talking
First
Russet
episode?
Lake?
No, we can talk episode 1,
okay.
2, or 3.
I think pulling up to Moat Lake, like you, me, and Clint, like getting eyes on it for the first time was like a holy shit experience. Like we were on a mission to like get the boats going and like get these guys, but it was like just like stepping foot on that property and looking around. It was like I've never like been anywhere like that before.
Yeah, and so that episode will drop a couple days after this pod, but Sam, definitely throw in some photos of this Moat Lake cabin. I've got some drone shots, which you can throw in. Just pristine. The beautiful, like, I don't know, I'd never been to a cabin like that, just because there's usually not a bunch of private cabins in the middle of national parks.
yeah, that felt kind of like strangely magical. By the time like you get through this, and it was all we kept equating it to like Lord of the Rings. we're like with all these dwarves and whatever. Like, I guess what was I? I guess I was a dwarf. We were
You were Gimli, you were the dwarf.
You're Legolas.
Legolas, yeah.
Yep.
Tyler gives off strong elf vibes.
Yeah, you got elf mode. But I'd say the peak of that, I think meeting everybody. I think it was just everybody was so cool, and
Yeah.
you know, when you get into a big group like that, you assume there's going to be some egos, and you know, especially if they were shooting as well, and it was just such an awesome experience going up. I think the camaraderie going up was my peak for that.
Yeah, just like having beers around the table and like sitting around the fireplace and just telling stories and talking was awesome too.
Yeah, David. Shout out David. He's the man for getting all that stuff going.
Nice.
He was great to talk to.
If we did another Peakin, what are like some changes you would make, if any? What
I'd
did we
pack more
learn?
water.
Okay. More water.
Yeah, I think honestly, like I know on Chicklets you and Biz mentioned like doing like a 2-night camp, and I think that would be awesome just because like imagine like at Russet Lake for example, if we had a whole day to just play around
Right.
like there without having to like get somewhere immediately.
Yeah, that was the other thing, like sleeping and then thinking about how early do we need to wake up to get back to civilization without dying was a fun. I agree with you.
Yeah, maybe just having like more time to do
More
stuff.
time.
Yeah.
I would say, more water, more time, and then you know if we got a third person, just kind of like what we're doing with rediscovering is always when you have another crew member who maybe they're in charge of the trail map or maybe they're hiking up with extra gear.
Or we just have like an outdoors guide.
Yeah,
like that.
that
Someone
too.
else to add. I
Yeah.
mean, that's another thing. Yeah, having a new
An expert.
personality to kind of just go with that
expert.
area would be nice.
Yeah. Altogether, I said like Whistler was my favorite ski town I've ever been to. I don't have much bad to say about British Columbia.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
guess
going
they're-
back in January to
Oh,
Whistler
really?
to ski.
skiing,
Yeah.
really? Wow.
So I'm stoked about that.
Very
Take them
reasonably
out to
priced
Moat
flights.
Lake or Russet Lake.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only negative thing I could say is Vancouver does have a couple blocks that are just like probably some of the worst homelessness I've seen.
Yeah, that was
shout out-
wild to see.
Great views, great homelessness there. They're
Yeah.
really at the top of a couple things.
You'll be in the nicest neighborhood in Vancouver, and then if you walk over a couple blocks, it's just
Yeah.
kind of been completely taken over.
Or what was Biz arguing about, like how they keep trying to tow his truck?
Oh, yeah.
That first time. It was like every
Yeah,
10 minutes, he's like, I got to go check
We
my
almost
truck.
lost all our camera gear the first day.
It's like twice.
Yeah.
They almost towed Biz's truck at least 3 times in that first 24 hours.
Yeah, he's racked up so many parking tickets there that they're like, one more strike. We're just taking your car.
He's just
and
rolling
you
the
can
dice,
never
though.
have it back.
So yeah, don't leave anything in Biz's truck is lesson number 1, I guess.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other final thoughts to put a cap on this pod.
Yeah, I hope shout out to Watson, Protein Puck for coming aboard. I know we've been trying to get this going again since Gatlinburg. Mm-hmm. So hopefully we get to do some more. And then I told Tyler, like eventually once my knee finally gives out, it's his to lead. So
Yeah.
we'll see how many more episodes I have in me.
Just because he's not here, how about we do pros and cons to filming with Biz?
Oh,
No,
pros.
I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
I mean, the meals
Oh, yeah.
Going to eat with Biz, you're always in for a treat.
Yeah.
That was delightful.
That was the best eating I've ever done in 72 hours. Or
I
how
think
many days? 4
same,
days,
probably, yeah.
Every meal, he was just like, order for the table. Best meals you could have had. Shout out to Fino. Incredible. The dinners every night were incredible.
Yes, as long as he wasn't placing too many subs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, you can trust Biz's palate.
Biz is like,
Overall,
he's like the
he might-
opposite of a gremlin, where it's like, as long as you keep him fed and like, give him a hippo mode, like he's good.
Yeah, I will say that's another pro to shooting with him is he's just ready to jump in like you are. I think that's what you guys have such good chemistry is like every situation we've gone into, it's been, hey, how do you doing? Blah, blah, hey, we can do this. And there was just nothing but positivity involved. So unlike Gatlinburg where Mellow Mushroom sucked ass, the food on this one was great. You guys were awesome leading the way. And I think that was just that might have been the overall pro for me.
Yeah.
You guys just have such good chemistry. It's really just like us being able to capture it,
Yeah.
It's really, that's all it is.
Great group to go on a trek with. So
Yeah.
Something you kind of realize once you're in Canada with Biz is that, I don't know, do you think he's like a top 10 famous media personality in Canada?
We've done that. We've had this convo a couple
Wherever we were, like, and people like just always knew who he was, but he handles it well. He's very nice to all the fans he meets.
Yes, and the other part of that is that he's so trained. He's so media trained, and he's so used to people coming up to him. But there's also that counter to that where there'd be times where he's like, "Hey, how you doing?" And then I'd look over, and those people aren't even looking at us. And he was just like, he was getting those highs out of the way, like throughout. Everybody got a high, but no, he was great to walk around with. Just a great host.
Yeah, great co-host. That's all I got. Chaps, you got any thoughts about British Columbia?
I'm glad we got to do it. It was a great time. It was great recapping it with you guys. I appreciate it.
Yes.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
wish you made the final cut. That is,
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get your scenes out there at some
Yeah,
point.
they'll do an extended cut. Yeah.
I do want to get to Banff because that's where you've been, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never been there.
I mean, in terms of that's like the most picturesque lake that everyone takes photos of.
Oh, yeah.
Louise, yeah.
Lake Louise. It's a slightly nicer looking lake than Russet Lake, but it wouldn't have as much adventure involved in getting there.
Right.
But yeah, we'll just take one look at.
Wow.
Lake Louise is dummy. Like it doesn't even look real.
And you don't
Gatorade water.
You don't even have to hike to that, right? Is it
And
just-
you should see the ice skating on it. Like whenever the first
really?
couple like months where it is completely frozen solid. There's videos
Oh,
where
that's epic.
it doesn't even look like it's ice. Like you're just skating on top of the water.
Let me ask you a question. So, yeah, that's kind of opened up to where do you want to go next?
I mean, there's like dream destinations and there's more like realistic destinations. I've mentioned this on the pod a few times, but like the most beautiful mountains I've ever seen are the Dolomite Mountains in Italy. And that's where the Winter Olympics are. But it honestly might be easier doing a trip there when the Olympics aren't going on. But,
Right.
Yeah, that's a bucket list spot for me.
Yeah, it's beautiful in the winter or the summer because you can just go like hike from hut to hut, or in the winter you ski from hut to hut.
Patagonia.
Patagonia, that's like a bucket list. Mount Kilimanjaro bucket list. But in terms of the U.S., like I went to national parks when I was a kid. I think we went to Yellowstone as a family, but haven't been to a bunch since then. So just like getting out west to some of those national parks
Biz floated
would
Jackson.
be a dream. Yes, yeah. I think that's the most realistic because
Right.
he owns some property there.
That'd be sweet.
And never been out to Jackson. The one time I got invited to Wyoming, I thought I was going to Jackson. Me and Eddie went to a professional bull riding event, but it was in Cheyenne. And Cheyenne is
cool.
just great plains, not a lot going on.
Great Garth Brooks song.
Yeah.
of Cheyenne.
Not a happening place. They had great crab rangoons.
I
but-
lived there for a year
You lived in Cheyenne
as a child.
For a year?
Yeah, there's a shot of me with a cowboy hat. So
no way.
Okay, yeah.
there's a little bit of cowboy in me.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of great things to say about Cheyenne, but the rest of Wyoming could be a different story. So tune back in for that. And thanks for listening. Check out episode 3 on Wednesday evening.
I'm doing the double peaks.
Peakin'.
Peakin'.